but still, you know. Are we on?
I'm guessing we are. It says we are.
I'm just checking.
Are we on?
Are we on? Are we? We don't know.
Oh, I just see it popping
I see
in.
it. Okay. I'm alive.
It's 11.
And live.
There it is.
And large. Let's make it.
I was like, that's rude.
I'm alive. Yes, you're alive.
You're alive.
She said I was large. I mean,
Oh,
not gonna.
large.
I'm not.
I had to enlarge it because
because I was too tiny. That's a
darling.
problem I have constantly.
Is this creativity or chaos? Hard to tell. You're not kidding, Charlie. It's that way every day.
That is just what I showed you, though. You did not see the storm that came through, which I know most of you can relate to. You probably can't. You're neat. You're neat and tidy. Are you a neat and tidy sewer too? I bet you are. No?
No.
No.
I don't
No.
think so.
I am just completely chaotic.
I'm probably
just
worse.
stuff everywhere. That beautiful studio that I showed you last Friday, it's still pretty. But my God, there was stuff everywhere yesterday. I was just like, move this out of the way, and just kept doing stuff. I was busy, but you know.
I'm probably more of an annoying person to sew with than.
Yeah, you
Really?
are actually.
Yeah, I don't
Things
like,
you didn't know.
I don't like a mess everywhere.
No, don't get me wrong.
I
They
would
both
never-
are neat in the office, and they both yell at me because I'm not. But I imagined it the opposite way. I thought you would be the neat sewer, and you would be the messy
No,
sewer.
she just likes to throw everything out. That's all.
That is just everything
That is
else.
true. You do.
But I'm not.
But that's a gift that you have. That
Oh, yeah.
I listen.
I
Some
was
of
looking
us,
for something
some
the
of
other
us
day, so I
can't,
must have threw
can't
it
do
out.
She
that.
threw it out. She throws things out before the next
Some
I
of us
had
have-
one of these. Oh yeah, I must have threw it out.
Some of us have a harder time letting go of things. I call it sentiment. Marlene calls it throw it in the garbage. So
Right.
it's
I
fine.
won't let
I
her in my
understand.
basement.
Dying
No.
to throw that stuff out, whatever it is.
Oh, there's
Good
a big pile in the
morning.
middle for the garbage.
We're almost 2 minutes in, as usual, and talking about absolutely
Yay, it's
nothing.
Friday. I
So,
agree, Shannon.
okay, I'm gonna try this. This is gonna be new. You ready? Welcome back to my channel. I can't do that. I can't. It's so awkward. People that are good at it, I can't do it. But welcome to Facebook. Welcome to YouTube. Don't forget to like and follow. And if you're on YouTube and you like me, which I hope you do, subscribe and click the notification bell. I'm trying. I'm really trying to get into the YouTube zone. I'm just not really good at it, but I'm trying really hard. Yes.
That piece of fuzz off your boob because you can see it.
This?
Yeah, that.
Why?
Oh, it's right on your boob. And you can
They're
see
mine,
it
and I
there.
can do anything
There's
I
no
want to them.
shame.
Well, at least that's what she was laughing at. I wasn't really sure because I'm never 100% sure. I'm never 100% sure. So, I left this little tagline on the last YouTube video that I'm going to start putting on all of the YouTube videos. Facebook is for fun. Just so you know. And tutorials are for learning. So if this chaos is not for you, I understand. You are welcome to go if this is too much for you. But basically, this is what you get once a week from us. I make no apologies. So before
You
I get
almost-
into
you
it,
almost got overridden by the Olympic opening ceremonies, but she came
Oh.
anyway.
woo! Thank you.
She was watching them, but she stopped and came here. That was Shelley.
Don't judge me for saying this, please. I don't watch the Olympics because I don't watch any sports, and that includes the Olympics. And I know it's really special. I know everybody loves it, but I'm sorry, I don't watch it. I watched it like in 1996, but yeah. So anyway, before I get started into what we're going to talk about today, Marlene, would you like to go? Do you wanna tell them?
Oh, okay.
wait,
I'll
wait,
tell
wait,
them.
wait,
Wait a minute.
No, you got to get up there now. Come over.
I'm
I
out.
was going to take the
Tell
thing and
them.
say,
Tell them what we're doing today.
No,
Well,
turn
come
that
on.
bit.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. We're doing Christmas in
Christmas
July.
in July.
It's 73 degrees. At least it's cooled off.
Yeah.
So Marlene asked me this morning if we could do a little Christmas in July giveaway, and we've never done that before. So I said, sure, why not? So here's the little catch. I'm really sorry if you're watching this on YouTube. It's just a Facebook giveaway, so please don't be mad at me. I'll do something on YouTube one of these days, I promise. So it's just on Facebook, and all you have to do to be entered is leave a comment on this video. It doesn't matter what it's about. You can just say hi, and you're entered. And we will give you until midnight tonight, and then I will draw the name over the weekend. We'll do like a random number, and we will give it away. We'll ship it out to you on Monday. So, Marlene, what are we giving them? What can they win? Not sponsored by Facebook,
Here,
it's just mine.
They can win a piece of cork and a piece of waxed canvas.
So this is the blueberry wax canvas. It's a half yard, And this is the Garden Bloom. I always have to say bloom.
Garden
Yeah,
Bloom,
cork.
my favorite.
27.
Just so you know, before I start talking, I've had about 2.5 hours of sleep. I don't have a lot of words today, so I'm really sorry for this. But anyway, again, all you have to do is leave a comment. You don't have to watch the video to the end. You can watch it later. Leave it by midnight. It's only on Facebook. I'm really sorry, YouTube. It's just, my brain can't handle all of that at once. So it's just a Facebook giveaway. It's not sponsored by Facebook. You have to follow the rules, be 18 and over, blah, 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 whatever. All that stuff that they make you say. So it's just from my heart to yours, and actually from Marlene and Barb's, because I didn't pick this out. They decided on it. So you get a piece of wax canvas and a piece of cork, and that is it.
Yay.
Okay. Whew. All right. So I don't have a lot to show you today, and we're not doing a demo today because the lack of sleep is not helping, but that just happened. Also, it's been, you ever have one of those weeks where you feel like the universe is just fighting against you and you're not getting anything done? My plan on Monday was different than what is happening today. So my plan that I made earlier this week will happen next week. I'm getting stuff done. You're hearing me. I'm getting stuff done.
Yep.
I have been
You
trying.
say it verbally.
I think we heard it last
saying
week, too.
You did, but I am trying desperately right now to get the things done that I want to. I have a ton of cork on order. I was hoping I could do an unboxing, but it's not here yet, so that didn't happen. I have a new pattern that's like 99% done, but it didn't happen. That's the title of this video. It didn't happen because I'm trying. But one thing I do have to show you before we're gonna have a conversation today. We're gonna have a little chat today, kind of a history of so many creations, and I'll tell you what that means in a minute. What I want to show you is Cork Club for July. I cannot even believe that it's July. It's the end of July. I'm still having a hard time with this. It was
I'm
just
still
May.
waiting for summer when the rain stops.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
When is summer coming?
This is
yeah.
spring. It's perpetual spring.
It is hot and humid, rainy. This has
Hot
not
and
been
humid,
a
rainy,
summer.
Hot and humid, rainy,
Yeah.
cold,
I mean,
rainy.
it's 73 right now, but this will not last,
It's supposed to
unfortunately.
rain today,
supposed to
too.
rain.
It's supposed to rain, so we're desperately waiting for summer to get here. So in the meantime, July for Cork Club, I made this decision sitting at a picnic table when I was camping because I thought, oh, I have to ship Cork Club when I get home and I don't know what colors I'm gonna pick. So I decided to go semi-patriotic, and I picked some blues, some new prints, and I don't remember what the third one was. I don't remember at all. One of you will tell me, because I don't remember. I think it was patriotic of some sort. It's mush in here. I can feel it sloshing around. So, the new prints are on the website, and there's more coming. We have blue marble. This was a customer suggestion. Ginny, if you're watching, did you see what we got? And this is blue diamond. And I also brought with me, I color match these, even though there's not a lot of colors in them, because what I wanted, the best way that I can explain to you, I called this blue diamond. Marlene said, but it's not blue, it's purple. And then she said, but it is blue. So here's the thing. It's not navy and it's not iris, it's in between. It's a navy that has a little bit of purple. And you can see, it's literally in between.
It is. And
So
it would go with either.
they both go.
It's blurple.
It's blurple. So they both go. They both will work depending on if you're more navy or more iris. They will both work. And also, I grabbed the midnight zipper and the orchid zipper. They also both go.
That's plum.
Oh yeah.
Plum. And the shortest Facebook Live. I'm done.
We always have to correct you. You know that.
It's okay. It's all right. And I'm the one that names things and I don't know anything. But you ship the orders, so you look at stuff more than I do. So that was that. And the blue marble goes really nicely with royal.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Isn't that nice?
Oh yeah.
It's the same color base, except it has a texture to it where this one does not. This one's smooth. So it's that textured royal blue. And then it has some white and black. You could probably mix navy with this too if you wanted to go all blue, but the black looks nice too. So just two, nice simple prints, nothing crazy. So if you're not into flowers and all that kind of good stuff, we've got some prints that might appeal to you. I really like it. It's purpley blue.
Yeah.
It's more purple than the dandelions.
It's blurple.
But it's blurple. That is
Yeah.
that is the best thing I can say.
I like that.
So can I put these in front of you? Do you
Yeah.
mind? Okay.
Put them right there.
So we're just gonna talk today because I was thinking this week what would I like to talk to you about? And we had this conversation as 2 parts last year. If you can believe it, we have been doing videos for over a year now. It started in May of last year, which is still crazy to me. Marlene was not even back when we started this little series. She came, I don't remember when you came back. September? September. So Marlene was not here. And like I told you guys a while ago, some of our videos that were over there, okay, all of the videos that were over there, I'm embarrassed. The quality is horrible. We didn't have mics. We kept the iPad really far away. It was hot over there. The Wi-Fi was terrible. So
This was very shiny.
I was shiny a lot. So I'm trying to go through and redo some of them that I feel are worthy of a second round. So instead of doing this as a 2-part, I'm going to do it all as one. And then I have like a little, I'm sorry, my hair is in my mouth. I have a little extra to kind of throw in here. So what I thought we would talk about today, because there's a lot of you that are new, especially from last summer, a lot of you that weren't around for those videos or that saw them and the quality was so bad. So I thought that I would give you a history of so many creations. How I started as a bag maker and bag seller, and how I transitioned into patterns. So I totally understand if you're here for demos and you want to see some stuff and this is not for you. I understand if you have to go, or if you already listened to me talk about it once, you don't want to stick around. There's no hard feelings. But if you stick around, I have something kind of fun to share with you at the end. A little something I was inspired to do from social media. So I'm going to make this short. We literally did an entire day for each of those subjects, so I'm just going to kind of condense this. So if you were ever wondering, here you go. So back in 2005, somewhere around there, I started making bags. I started as a quilter. That was around the time I started quilting. In about 2005, 2006, I realized that I am not a finisher. I am a topper. I make quilt tops. I don't ever finish them. Until I meet people like these ladies that long arm them, I didn't finish anything. But I was starting to accumulate fabric and I was getting back into sewing. I have been sewing since I was a kid, not consistently. I definitely took breaks in between, did other crafts. I was raised by my grandmother. I mean, my mother, my grandparents, we were all together. And being with my grandmother all the time, since she didn't work, she was always doing something crafty. The woman could never sit still and keep her hands still. She was always knitting, crocheting, cross-stitching, sewing, doing something. So I was always trying out different hobbies. But sewing, I always went back to. So I've been sewing since I was probably about 7 or 8 years old. And bags, literally out of nowhere, just popped in my head one day and I was like, I want to make bags. This is what I want to do. I started making bags, not to sell them, just because I was kind of having fun and I was using fabric and I didn't need help finishing them. I didn't have to have them quilted. I could do them all by myself. And I wish that I could find some of my really early bags. I showed you a while back some of the bags that my mom had kept in storage. Some of those were pretty old. I wish I could find some of my first ones. I know that they were really bad, but I would love to look at them now. So I remember actually one of my first bags. It was awful, but it's okay. I was really proud of it, and that's all that matters. It does not matter if it was perfect. So I started making bags just because I wanted a hobby. I didn't have anything else going on at nighttime, and when you're in your 20s, you have more energy. You don't need to go to bed at 8 o'clock. So I would sew from the time I got out of work until the time I went to bed at like 11, 12 o'clock and just make bags. It became a business because first I always wanted to have a business. I was always interested in being my own boss. I learned very quickly, like my first job, that I'm not really good at taking direction from other people. And I don't really like being told what to do.
No.
But when you have to do it to make, to pay your bills, make a paycheck, you do it. So luckily I don't have to do that anymore. I hope I never have to do that again. I'm very fortunate in that aspect. But it became a business because my friends and my family kept seeing what I was making and would ask me to make them things. And then what comes after that? You should sell these. Yeah. Because your friends and your family are always going to be supportive because they never fully understand what's behind this. Unless somehow you have a good friend or a family member that also does the same thing and understands the cost and the time, they're just going to say, do it. You should sell it. People would buy these. I bet they'd pay like $20 for one of those bags. And you go, no,
wow.
I bet they would. I bet they would. So I have a very supportive family and friends and husband. And so, they all were encouraging me. And so I actually made my first set of bags that I really gave away for my bridesmaids. I got married in 2007, and I decided to make each of them a bag. One of them barely made it home before the handle fell off. I did a great job. Lessons that you learn as you go on. So don't worry, you don't have to be perfect to start. You don't have to be perfect ever, because I'm not. So one of the handles fell off, and she called me and said, love the bag, but the handle fell off. So what are you gonna do? I fixed it. That was how I learned something. So in going forward with all this encouragement of you should sell bags, I didn't know how to, because yes, there was internet, and yes, I was on the internet, but I didn't know how to make a website. I didn't know how to do that. It sounded super complicated and crazy. So I started selling them to people that I knew, and then people that they knew, and then I started doing parties. Kind of my own version of Madison handbag parties. If you were familiar with those, or if you remember those, they would come to your house and they'd show you the fabrics and show you all the bags, and you pick out a bag, and they were so excited because they were, you know, made locally. And I know that it was in Troy, I think, where they used to make some of the bags.
Yeah.
I don't remember other cities that they had, but for us, Troy is right around the corner. So it was like, oh, they made my bag in-house. That's so cool. So I thought, well, if they can do it, I can do it. So I would go to the quilt shop or to Joann's, because a lot of stuff came from Joann's because I didn't know about quilt shops right away. And I would buy quarter yards of everything. I was that annoying customer that you hated being behind, because you were like, oh my God, she's gonna be here for 6 hours. And I would buy quarter yard cuts and pray that nothing sold out in the meantime. And I'd take them all to your house, and I'd show you all your bags, and I'd tell you, I'll make it however you want. You want the handle longer? I can do that. You want to change the colors? I can do that. I can do anything you want. Back then, my brain said, you're doing a great job. You're making tons of money. Right now, I realize I was not making any money at all, because I still was underpricing everything, because it's a super hard thing to do. And I see that question constantly in our group, in other groups, everywhere. If you sell bags, how do you price them? It's not an easy thing to do. I can tell you that much. You will always undersell yourself, because you don't want to come off as like, look at this is a $100 bag. You're like, well, I guess 50. We're all bad about that. So I wasn't making any money. I thought I was having fun. And then I got completely burned out. And it only took about 2 years. I couldn't do it anymore. Every hour that I was home after work, all weekend long, every holiday, that's all that I did, is make bags for other people and make things for people that I didn't want to make in colors that I didn't like. But you have to, because they're paying you for it. And what broke me was my friend's sister-in-law. And she asked me to make a bag. The bag had 4 colors. She wanted it in 2 colors. I tried to explain to her, it won't look the same. You're going from 4 to 2, it's not gonna look the same. That's fine, that's how I want it. So I did it. She hated it. And I knew she was not gonna like it. I knew she wasn't gonna like it. I remade it. So now bag number 2, we picked 3 colors. She still didn't like it. She still didn't like the bag. Bag number 3, I said, she's taking this bag, and I'm never making another bag for her again. And now we've finally gotten up to 4 colors, just like I told her she needed in the beginning. And that was when I realized I couldn't do this anymore. I was just absolutely 100% burned out. I couldn't take it anymore. I was driving all over the place, buying fabric, praying a lot that things didn't run out. And luckily, it never happened. I lucked out somehow that I never went back and the fabric was sold out. That was just pure luck. But I was exhausted. So I decided, I have all these bag ideas. I have pages and pages and notebooks of ideas. I've already written them, basically. I know how to make them. I'm gonna try writing patterns. And that is how I transitioned into writing patterns. So for those of you that want to make and sell bags and enjoy it, I'm so happy for you. It is not for me. Sometimes I think about it still. Sometimes I look at the samples. I'm like, well, I'm not traveling, maybe. And I can't do it. I just don't have it in me anymore. I'm scarred still from that experience. So in 2011, that was when I decided to start writing patterns. I started in January, and I brought over with me, this is part of what we're gonna do. I have a pile of bags in front of me. This is the first pattern that I ever wrote. It's missing the handle. I took it off for some reason, I don't know where it is. It's not being used. This is the Leading Lady Pleated Wristlet. Some of you may have never seen this because it's so old and I don't talk about it anymore, and I barely ever promote it because it's just a wristlet, you know? But for whatever reason, I picked this first, and I don't know why. It has little pleats, it has a zipper on top, it has no pockets, and you hook the handle
Did we just
on.
get that fabric back in too?
We just got this fabric back in. This was from the first round of fabric because I was doing shows and I was like, I need to make new samples. I haven't made one of these in forever. And that's why I don't have the fabric anymore. Well, I think we still have it, but we sold out of it the first time. So anyway, so that was the first pattern that I started with. And that was in January. By February, I had gone to my local quilt shop where I had made friendships with a lot of the ladies there. I still talk to a lot of them, and one of them is still one of my really great friends. She works at Log Cabin. Pat, if you watch those videos, you may have seen her on there. And Pat approached me and said, hey, you make bags, and you're really good at it, and we need someone to teach bag classes because none of us want to do it. We don't know how to make bags, and we don't have any interest in it. Would you like to teach for us? Now, I've been writing patterns for a solid month. Oh, one pattern, solid month, I'm good. And she asked if I wanted to teach. I had never taught before, but I was like, sounds interesting, why not? Everything was, can I make money off of it? I'll try it. And so I said, sure, what do you want me to teach? She said, anything you want. Any bag patterns, we've got a bunch of them here. I can order them for you, whatever you want. And that little light bulb went off and I was like, ooh, I have an idea. Let's see how this goes. Because I know her. I feel like I could take rejection from her, okay? If it doesn't work out well, let me just plant the seed and see how it works. And I said, well, I'm actually writing some of my own patterns. She was so happy. And she said, great, bring them all in. We'll buy them all from you. This was not done yet. This was almost done. And I had nothing else done. And I said, okay, give me some time. I'll be back. And I went to work because I was a good employee and I wrote patterns on my free time. I'm sorry to everybody I worked for, I didn't pay attention to my job. And I would just write patterns in my free time, and I hurried up and I got a bunch of patterns done and I made samples and I brought them to her and I said, here you go, now what do we do? And I knew nothing. I knew less than nothing. Pat said to me, well, what are you gonna sell them for? I said, I don't know. I don't know, how do you price them? So she said, well, you need to know what the retail price is. And I was like, well, what's that mean? She said, well, that's what you sell it to customers for. I was like, okay, $10. They're $10 patterns, that seems reasonable. She goes, well, then your wholesale will be $5. I was like, what is wholesale? I literally did not know. This was not the industry I came from. We did things very differently. We used different words. I was like, what is wholesale? She's like, well, that's what shops buy it from, and it's usually half that price. So you sell it to us, and then we sell it to customers. I was like, all right, I can do that. And she said, well, you have to have them printed. I said, where do I get them printed? She goes, I can't help you with that. Like that, you know, figure it out. I printed them all on my home printer for many, many years. She said, you got to put them in bags. I didn't know where to get bags from. You can see where this is going. If you think that you know nothing, trust me, I knew less than that. So she helped me get this all set up. She, you know, told me what to do, told me how, you know, you put numbers on them because you have to have like a SKU, you know, a number in case you're selling them to other shops, which why would I do that? I'm not going to sell them to other shops. I'm just bringing them here. So, but that changed. So that was how that all got started. And thankfully, I have a person like Pat in my life who did not think that I was dumb, or she didn't say it, and just told me how to do stuff and explained to me what all of these things that I didn't know were. That year, 2011, I came out with 10 or 12 patterns. And it sounds like a lot, and it was a lot, but remember, I already had them in a notebook. They already existed. I just had to get them formatted for a pattern, for something that I could hand over to you instead of my notes. And that was how the patterns got started. And then this happened. And let me tell you how this happened, because this is kind of me resisting things is kind of a theme of my life. Me having anxiety and thinking that nothing will ever work and not wanting to do things that are unfamiliar to me and being very uncomfortable with it, that will never change. I've gotten better, but I still am very resistant. Now I like to buy things, they know, but before it was that was a problem.
All the time.
But there are still things that I'll give you an example. There's still things that I'm very much an introvert about, and I don't know how to get out of that. There's things that I'm working on myself. I'm always working on myself. So I decided that I was just gonna sell patterns. That's it. I don't need to do anything else. I can sell them as PDFs on Etsy. I didn't have a website. Or no, I did have a website, but I didn't think I was gonna sell patterns on there because Etsy was kind of easy to set up. So I thought, I'm just gonna stick with Etsy. We'll just do it that way. Well, now I have to write these patterns and print them and bring them to a quilt shop. Okay, that's only one other thing. I can handle that. Well, now that quilt shop is talking and other people are finding out that I'm teaching and finding out about patterns, and now I'm getting calls from other quilt shops. And back in the early 2000s, in this area, within like a 30-mile radius, we had about 11 or 12 quilt shops. It was crazy the amount of quilt shops. Some of them were in the same town. They were like walking distance from each other. But each shop would keep finding out and emailing me and calling me, can you teach, can you teach, can you teach? And that's how my local, like the shop base kind of built up. This was funny, but kind of embarrassing at the moment, but now I kind of laugh at it. I don't know if you were in the guild yet or if you were there. I know you were probably there for this. Once a year, my guild would do this thing where they would invite all the local shops to come in and talk about what they have upcoming for the year. The first one gets up and talks about what they have going on, and we have all these classes from Jessica. I was like, oh, cool, it's me. Second one gets up, and we have all these classes with Jessica. It went on for like 8 shops to the point that people were just looking at me going, what? Don't you have a job? Like, yeah, I do. I don't want to talk about it. But that's how I had to get started, because I had to get my name out there, and I didn't know how to say no. I was super bad about saying no. I didn't want to say no to anybody, because what if I hurt someone's feelings? Like I need to get out there. It was chaotic. There was one week that I taught 4 different classes at 4 different quilt shops, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I couldn't do that right now if I wanted to. I would probably never recover from that. It's a lot. So that was my kind of local thing, but I was just sticking with patterns. I had no desire to do hardware, zippers, I don't need that. I have a full-time job. This is a part-time thing. I didn't anticipate it ever being more than a part-time thing. I wanted it to be, but I didn't think that it could be. I was like, patterns, they're $10 a piece. I can't sell that many of them to support myself. So as the years go on, the Diva Wallet comes out. This came out, and this was not supposed to be a pattern. I had no intention of writing it as a pattern, but I posted it on Facebook, and all the shops kept messaging me and saying, when are you teaching that class? When's the pattern done? So I was like, well, I guess I'm writing this pattern. And then what came along with it was, what about the hardware? Can you bring that when you teach the class? Because we can't find it anywhere. So now I am a source for hardware that I didn't want to be a source for. And I wasn't buying it myself. I was finding it anywhere I could, making $0 on it, and just bringing it to make the shops happy. And as time would go on, my husband kept saying to me, will you just source the stuff? Like, Google it, find it somewhere, start sourcing it, sell it yourself, make money, make it worth your time. You're not making any money. I'm like, but I'm breaking even, it doesn't matter. Make money. He pushed me on this for probably a solid 2 years, and I was terrified. When I don't know how to do something, I will revolt against it. I don't want to do it. It makes me anxious. It makes my stomach hurt. I don't want to do it. It will fail. I can't do it. And he's like, just try it. He is the one that sourced the Diva frames, not me, because I didn't know what to do. And he's got this weird thing with the internet where he can't check his email very well, and he can't always find like easy things. He doesn't understand Facebook still, but he can find things, and I'm like, how did you find that? People have been looking for 4 years for that thing. How did you find it? So he found Diva frames, and we had silver, and that was it. And I thought, this is it. I'm not buying any more. Just silver. Just silver Diva frames. Yes, I'm gonna take a drink because you have a question for me.
Katie does have a question. Why didn't you want to do your Diva as a pattern?
So, this was my reason. All of the bags that I made year 1, with one exception, it's actually not even a pattern I have anymore, but it's the pleated clutch, but I had it with a ruffle on the front. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
All of my patterns, there's a pleated clutch there, and I think there's ruffled ones over there.
Yeah.
All of my patterns were fabric, one kind of interfacing, end of story. They didn't have hardware on them because the shops kept telling me that hardware was hard to find. And I would go to the shops and their bag section was just patterns. No one had hardware. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna do this thing. They can't find, they're gonna be mad at me because they have to find this. And last year I came out with a pattern that had a kiss lock frame on it. They're gonna be so mad at me. Keep in mind, early 2000s, bag making was not as popular. Hardware was hard to find. It was not an easy thing to just walk into a store and find. If they didn't have it at Joann's, which would you have, plastic snaps and Velcro, You couldn't find it anywhere. So I'm thinking, I don't know how to source this stuff. I don't sell it. I can't give it to them. If I bring in a pattern that has a piece of hardware in it, they're going to hate me because they're going to have to buy this thing. Little did I know that they would put it back on me. Here's the pattern. You bring the hardware. You want to teach here? You supply it. So that's how it went. So I was terrified to bring in something that had hardware because I thought that they would be very upset with me. I am known as the person that makes tourist tote bags, no hardware. Zippered pouches, one zipper. Like, I do simple things. So that was my resistance. I also made the wallet for me. I had spent an entire year developing this pattern company, doing like all this, you know, designing and everything. And I didn't want to write another pattern. I wanted to take a break. And I made this for myself, but I posted it on Facebook, and that's how everything goes downhill. So that's why I was very resistant to that, which leads me back to how this happened. So Eric pushed me and pushed me and pushed me, and we ordered silver Diva frames. End of story. That was it. One Diva frame, that's all I need. Now I have it. You don't need anything else with hardware. Bags don't need hardware. Use Velcro. So, and it's fine if you do. So, once I get into something and I do something, it's much easier for me. But I couldn't fathom the idea of me sending money to somebody I didn't know, asking them to make something for me, and hoping that they didn't scam me. That's a really, really big, that's a big thing to do. And I put thousands of dollars out that I didn't have. And I was like, if they scam me, I just lost thousands of dollars and I don't know what to do. And now I've told people I'm gonna start carrying Diva frames. So this is how things snowball very quickly. I reached out to one of the shops and said, hey, just so you know, in a few weeks, we're gonna have these Diva frames coming in. Just so you know, here's your price on them. The response that I got back was, great, I'll have this many silver and this many gunmetal. I didn't order gunmetal. I only ordered silver. So I'm thinking, okay, what should I do in this situation? Admit defeat and lose a sale, or just say sure and figure it out? And I said sure. And I emailed that person that I really hoped wasn't ripping me off, and I said, hey, can I also get them in gunmetal? Okay, so now we have 2 colors. I don't need any more. I'm fine. I'm fine. And then somehow, and I honestly don't know how this happened, I don't know how it started, then I had the Central Park bag. Well, it's got a slide set and it's got swivel hooks. I'll get those too, but just in one color. Famous last words.
I wish we had a before and after picture of
Oh, I really wish that we did. Yeah. And then I also, for some reason, went to key fobs. Yeah. And I was like, oh, but one color. We'll just get those. And then it just kind of kept going. And then the Diva frame, that is what kind of set me into a different direction. Do you have these in antique brass? Do you have these with this pattern on it? Do you have them in a rainbow finish? Do you have smaller ones? Have you ever made a pattern for smaller ones? That's the snowball. And it's going and it's getting bigger. And then all of a sudden, this happened. Because I kind of enjoyed ordering hardware. It was fun. It was fun to see what people were asking for and what I could make with it. So now my new challenge was, I keep getting asked for this piece of hardware. What can I make with it? So I'll make stuff. Well, then zippers happened. They hate zippers. They love zippers.
I love zippers.
They like putting them in envelopes when they're already packaged. But you saw what it's like dealing with those zippers. And there's no easy way. If they had them on some kind of a reel, it would be great. They don't. So the zippers happened because I was like, what's the next thing that I need? And cork happened because what's the next thing that I need? I showed them this morning something that might be the next thing. There's always the next thing. And it kind of becomes like a drug addiction where you can't get out of it.
Where do you put the next thing?
Yeah.
Yes. So my addiction has now carried into 2 offices, my house, my car, I'm not kidding, other room, it's everywhere. And luckily I have these 2 that help keep me organized and push me when I need to be pushed, which is a lot. And so that's kind of how that all happened. It went from this to this so quickly.
You bloomed.
I
You were a
blossomed.
rosebud
So let me give you a little synopsis of this office right here. You guys know, if you've been with me since the beginning, that we ship over there. That was our second office. This is where I started as a a split. We split this office. That is Eric's side. This was my half. My half is bigger than his half. So I had right here where I am standing, I had a cutting table and I had bookcases blocking it off because I didn't think that his customers ever needed to come over here. So that was kind of like my barrier. So right over there was one single folding table where I had plastic baskets with the 3 colors of Diva frames because we bumped up to 3 at this point. I had some bolts of fabric. They were all over the place. I had some samples hanging up. And I didn't really have anything else because we hadn't fully expanded into other hardware. And what we had was in plastic bags. So fast forward to, Barb was not my first employee. Haley, who's in college right now, came to work for me. And Haley's one of those people that just does what she's told and doesn't say anything and doesn't put input into like, let's organize this. She's like, whatever you want, just do it. You know, she was 16 when she started working for me. So Barb comes in and Barb's like, this is not working. this is not working. We're tripping over each other, working on the same, we don't have any room. We had boxes of pattern. We had, you couldn't walk on that side of the table. It was so bad. That office across the hall opened up, and before I even knew that it was open, my husband told my landlord, we're renting it. And he said, get out. Take your stuff and go over there. You need room, make room. And I actually thought, and I'm pretty sure I said it out loud, we have so much room now. We're never going to run out of room.
Me too.
Definitely
Yeah.
remember that. Mhm.
Yeah, that didn't happen. At this point, Marlene was working for us, so, you know, they're both helping me get organized, and I think they were smarter than I was, and they were like, you're going to run out of room before we're even finished here. But I was like, no, we have so much room here. We have no room at all. And I just moved out of that office so that I could put more shelves in there, and they're already full of stuff. So
And she's already ordered more stuff.
that's always the question as to where is everything going to go, because we don't have room. So that is how that kind of happened. Now, cork, so the hardware happened and is still an ongoing thing. We still continually add hardware. Not as much in the beginning. We were adding because we didn't have anything, and then we were expanding and we were like, let's get 6 colors of everything. Let's be a one-stop shop and fulfill everybody's dreams of bag making. So, and I was traveling for shows. So I had inventory here and inventory in a van, and I never had what I needed, ever. I saw cork online, and this is the first cork that I ever ordered. This one, it's not the actual piece, but you know what I mean. The Smooth Natural, because it's just so soft, and I saw it online, and I saw people talking about it, and I was like, I don't really know what that is. Please tell me. I thought it was vinyl. This girl that I follow, I cannot remember her name. She's based in Canada, and she makes gorgeous bags. She's not a designer. She's just like a bag maker, and she sells fabric. And I was like, can I ask you what that is? You keep talking about cork, but like, what is it? I thought it was vinyl. She was like, it's real, it's cork. And she told me all the information, and I ordered a piece of it, and it sat on the desk over there for a little while, and everybody kept walking in and going, wow, it's so soft. It's so soft. When you get a man's attention that does not have any interest in sewing because they're like, what is this? This is nice. You know that it's a really cool product. Now, let me tell you a little something here. I wanted to get cork. I sourced the cork. I made the decision. My husband was not sure of my decision. He said, are you sure you want to do that? Like, are you sure you want to invest money in this? Is it really going to sell? Do you really think it's a good idea? And I said, listen, one roll. One roll. That's all I'm going to order. And if it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. I'll use it. It'll be fine. But I think it's going to be a good thing. And he was like, it's your money. But like, are you sure this is what you want to do? And I was like, I think it's what I want to do. I want to try it. I brought a very small amount of it to the first show. It sold out the first day. Gone. I brought it to another show. Same thing. I expanded my color selection. I went to Road to California. We sold out of 90% of what we brought there. And I said, I'm sorry to tell you, but I think I'm onto something here. I think this is a good thing. So I started with 11 colors. And I think I can actually remember what they all were. But I started with 11 colors, including this one. And what did we count? Like, we have like 115 or something.
Yeah.
And there's more coming. Because you guys love it as much as I do. So that's how cork happened. And again, the wax canvas, because now I'm sitting here in front of you. I'm not, traveling around and, being chaotic. I'm chaotic here. And I'm sitting in front of you, and you guys are asking me for things, and I'm remembering things that were asked of me. So now we have wax canvas. Will we have other things in the future? Probably. Do we have room for it? No, not even close. We have no room at all. But we're going to figure it out. And if we have to, there is an apartment upstairs. We could ask him to move out.
That's true.
Maybe take a bedroom. You know, we'll figure it out.
With the snake in it.
Oh, yeah, he has a python.
up
Never
there.
mind.
No,
But
no.
we always figure it out. And these two are very clever, and we brainstorm. Sometimes I walk in the office and I say, I just need to talk out loud for a minute, and I just need to say things, and then I can tell by their reactions if I'm saying a smart thing or not. And then we kind of talk, and I'm like, okay, I think I know what I need to do. I'm gonna go now. So we will figure it out. There will always be something new, even though I never anticipated any of this. If you asked me in 2011, if you said to me, guess what? In about 10 years from now, you're gonna have hardware and zippers and cork. You ever heard of cork? You're gonna have that. You're gonna have all this stuff. I would have said, you're nuts. You're insane. That's not going to happen. And yet here we are. So
Here we are.
that's kind of the history of so many creations, in case you ever wondered. And if you didn't, now you know. So the little fun thing I thought that I would do, and if you have questions or if you want to know anything, please, I'm an open book. I will answer whatever you want. Is I've been seeing this thing like on social media where people go like, they'll do it with tattoos or whatever, and they're like, you're first, you're last, you're newest, you're biggest. So I have some piles of bags here that I thought I would do kind of like a little compilation like that. So I'm gonna start here with the patterns. So I showed you this already, and this is kind of funny because this is not who I am, but it kind of looks like I pigeonholed myself. First pattern, 2011, Leading Lady Wristlet. Most popular pattern, Diva Wallet. Raise your hand if you've never made a Diva Wallet. Oh,
You've never made one?
Marlene still has not.
I made a mini diva.
Ah,
Oh my
see?
goodness.
I've
made a couple.
I still get orders for this pattern
Oh
to
my
this
gosh,
day.
yes.
And I will tell you, I said it out loud, it will die. There's no reason to buy hardware. It's gonna be over. It's not gonna stick around. And I'm really proud, and I hate saying things like this because I sound braggy, but 2 years in a row, I was the top selling pattern at one of the distributors. And I didn't know that because they don't tell you. They don't like send you an email and say, hey,
didn't know that.
congratulations. I was at Quilt Market and they had a list printed out that said the top 10 patterns of this year.
Really?
And I was number one.
You've
And I
never
was
told us
for
that
2 years in a
before.
row. Because it always sounds weird.
It does not.
Well, it doesn't to you. Someone
work
on the
hard to
internet's going to
do
be
it.
like, she's so full of herself. So I'm
Definitely
not.
not.
Trust me, I'm not.
Definitely
So first pattern, most popular pattern, newest pattern. It's not a theme.
It's funny.
It's just the
It
way
really-
it happened.
yeah.
So 2011, 2012, 2021. I'm still really impressed with the fact that I still have a business and I stuck it out this long because I've never worked at any job more than 4 years. And yes, it's different because it's my business, but I didn't realize that. In being that job hopper, I just thought that I had a limit on how long I could deal with people, which is true. But I also didn't realize it's because I
Tell
can't
us something.
stand being told what to do. No, because you don't boss me around. I don't like being micromanaged. You do sometimes. I don't like being micromanaged, and I don't like being told how to do a job that I know I'm already good at. And I had a lot of that. Have faith in me. I can do it. And I would get a lot of like, well, this is how you should do it. Well, I know. I already did it that way. So now I work for myself. Let's see. I wrote down so I wouldn't forget what I was doing. Well, we'll do it. This is in my hand. First piece of hardware, silver plain Diva frames, which we still sell.
Yeah.
But we do, what do you think is our most popular? Like
Gunmetal.
right at the moment.
Gunmetal color.
Gunmetal,
Gunmetal.
you think plain or embossed?
Embossed.
Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning towards that.
leaning towards
I
embossed.
don't keep track of things to know for certain. It's
Yeah.
like just something I don't, and I don't ship most of the orders. I only ship 1 day a week. They ship the rest. So I would say probably gunmetal embossed.
Yeah.
We still do sell plain silver. We still have people that don't
Yeah.
like the embossed. So first piece of hardware, newest piece of hardware, snap together grommets, which I very, very firmly said I'm never selling those.
Uh-huh.
Also rivets.
Never say never.
Never say never.
Now, would that, I have a question. Would that be the same type of thing that you see those kids put in their ears to make sure?
It's similar.
Could work.
We could.
Stretch
We could
ears.
try it out. I said that I
Actually, they
would.
use plugs.
Similar concept, but
Yes,
made for
it
the
is,
body.
Yeah.
I said I would never have these because I saw no use in them. Come back next week. I promise it'll be good. And I also said I will never sell rivets because you need
Yeah.
special tools for those. We have them in 6 colors.
Never
Just
say
saying.
never.
6 colors. That's our theme. So oldest hardware, newest hardware. Let me see what else I wrote down here. Oh, here, this is fun. Well, it's in my lap, so I'll do this. Oldest cork, plain and simple, still a good seller. We still do sell a lot. Newest cork, which you just saw.
Which, while you have that up there,
Yes.
Yeah.
Judy wanted to see the blue with the red and
Oh.
white.
Yes, that's why I brought those in.
There we
There you go, Judy.
Candy apple, cream, blue marble.
You
And
asked.
it doesn't get more patriotic than
There
that.
you go.
I had a feeling somebody asked. I saw Marlene scoot over there to get that.
Yeah.
So oldest cork and newest cork. We still sell the natural, but here's a funny thing I've seen in the cork too. And a lot of things have definitely shifted from traveling to different states and doing shows to staying here and having you come to my website. At shows, forever, I couldn't bring enough of the plain, of the natural, the smooth, and the textured. We would sell out of that at every single show. That would be the one thing that we sold out of. Some of our prints that have gone to pop-up sale page, which I just updated, you might want to check there. Some of those prints I couldn't keep in stock when we would have at a show. I would be texting Barb saying, mail me a package, mail me a package. Now, they're not as popular. Why is that? Why is it in-person shows in different states versus looking at a website is different? Because everybody shops differently. And a lot of you watching were not my show audience. You're this show's audience. But you were not necessarily, like Katie, for instance. Katie and I met at the main quilt show, but I didn't see her at every single show. And there were some people that I would see, I knew their names because I saw them. I was like, I saw you 3 shows ago. I've seen you at 6 shows this year. You get these ladies that shop from show to show to show. And I say ladies because I can't think of a lot of guys that I saw at multiple shows, but they would just, I would see them and they'd be like, hey, remember me? I just saw you in Daytona. I just saw you at this show. I come to your booth every time. And they would spend money even though I saw them 2 weeks before that. I'm not going to argue with that. So it's funny how things have shifted. Hardware is different. Colors are different. Everything sells differently from 2 years ago to now. And I cannot even believe it's only been a year. It's only been a year. I was thinking, when was the last time? I only did 4 shows in 2020. Go ahead. I'll take a drink while.
Oh, Charlie.
I knew it was Charlie.
My first cork was the unicorn snot one from you at the Vermont show. Never used it, gave it to a friend. Charlie, you have a way with words.
Unicorn snot. Hey, as my uncle says, when you're crying a lot, he calls them snot bubble tears when you're like really hysterically crying. So it fits. Let me tell you a little story about Charlie. It's a little bit.
Good.
No, it's not. It's not even funny. But it's just Charlie has always stuck in my head for one main reason, and it's not because he's a guy, and it's not that. When you go to shows, you meet people and you have conversations with people and you hear all the time, I have to go do something, but I'll be back. They don't come back. They don't come back because people forget where your booth is. They get busy. They weren't that interested. Whatever the case may be, you hear that over and over and over again. Charlie came into my booth. We had a very long conversation. I'm pretty sure we were the only people in the booth at that moment. We chatted for a long time about different things. He shopped around. He didn't buy anything. We shopped and we picked stuff out. And he said, I have to go. I'm taking a class. He told me who the class was with. And he said, I'll be back later. And I was like,
Yeah,
no,
sure.
you won't. Because that's just how it goes. He came back after his class and we talked more. And he, bought some stuff and we just talked about everything. And I was like, that's why he sticks in my head so much. And he also makes comments like unicorn snot. So, but there's, you hear that a lot when you're out. And I've probably said, I'm sure we've all said it, like, oh, I'll be back. And you're like, no, I won't.
Yeah.
Or where was that booth? Was it in this
That's-
row?
yeah,
You can't
yeah.
remember. And if you didn't catch their name, you
Right,
can't
you
look in the
can't.
book because you
No.
can't find out where they are. So it was just one of those things. And there's other people, and I'm just picked on Charlie just for a minute. There's other of you watching on here. I have little stories and little things that stick in my head of why I remember you, how I met you, the conversations we've had. Even though I can't tell you what I ate for lunch yesterday because I have no short-term memory. But I'm like, oh, I remember when I met you and you were wearing this outfit. It's a weird talent of mine, I guess. So that was just one of the funny things. And now Charlie watches me on Facebook, which is just it's very endearing to me because he stuck it out. He stuck with me. So let me see.
Stuck like glue.
Stuck like glue. Okay.
Well,
This
he
is
stuck like his hat pants did in
like his
church.
hot pants, like his hot pants in church. Okay, this is gonna be a really funny comparison. my, oops, I dropped it on the floor. My smallest bag. This is the smallest bag I have ever made in my life. It is a free tutorial on YouTube. And my biggest bag.
We're moving in.
Wow.
They don't go. So, a big old road trip bag that is very time consuming and very large and
And designed for a road trip.
and designed for a road trip, and this little itty bitty tiny bag that you can find as a free tutorial on YouTube. This was actually the first thing I ever uploaded to YouTube. Ever. Let's see here. Okay, hold on. I want to show you. This is the bag that I am using. I am still, and we need to check in with Barb. Yep, I already know where this is going. I am still
It's on
using
my
this
counter.
bag.
It's not put away anywhere. It's on my kitchen counter.
That's a good
Sue
spot
Smith
for it.
challenged you to just carry it, and
I
you
did
did not.
once.
Once. So me,
My
the
keys don't fit.
the person that says a bag can't be too big because I need to carry everything I own in it. I have been carrying this since May, just this, that's it, with all my junk in it.
Me too.
And it's a little bit dirty because I'm not careful with it, but here it is. This is it. So,
I'm gonna start carrying it.
I mean, I'm just saying, Sue said you needed to.
I know.
So this is my current bag. And this is the bag that I will never carry, even though I made it and fell in love with it and wanted to carry it. And I'll tell you why. I love this pattern. I did wear this pattern for a solid year. But this bag is so pretty and crisp and clean and perfect, and it's light colored, and I won't use it. I made it and I was like, that's my bag. I'm taking it, I'm wearing it. And then I just stare at it. So this is the bag that I will never ever carry because it's too pretty and light colored and crisp and perfect. And I love when they're brand new. I love when they're like
Yeah.
pristine. That you get that little sparkle like on the toothpaste commercials. So I will never carry that bag. But I carry this one. And I haven't carried my actual purse, which is under here somewhere, in my very organized under table collection. I haven't carried that purse since May. Let's see what else I got. Oh, okay, my favorite bag. And I am allowed to change my mind, and in the future I probably will, but today, July 23rd, this is my favorite bag.
Oh, I love that one.
For many reasons. This is my favorite bag because I challenged myself to figure out how to make a bowler bag, and I did it in my way. I love this bag because of the embroidery and the leaves. I got super creative, which I don't do a lot because I run out of time and I'm always just in the crunch to get the business stuff done. I don't always do the fun stuff. I love this bag because I love the salmon and the rose gold, and we picked that out together, even though this is not like their favorite, but we all liked it together. And it's my favorite bag at the moment because it's so bright and pretty and it just makes me happy.
I
And
love the
every
embroidery.
time I walk by it, I'm happy.
And depending on which side you're showing, it's like a different.
It's two bags in one.
It is, depending which side.
So I will change my mind in the future, but today, this is my favorite bag.
I love the
This is
flowers.
it. My
Flowers
Liana
are
bowler.
gorgeous.
I love the embroidery. And I also love that bag because I had not done embroidery in a while, and not done embroidery that I had to download to my embroidery machine. So I had to purchase it, I had to use my brain, and I did it. I'm very excited about that. So the newest one that I've made is this one that I showed you last week, the Emily Mini Messenger in all wax canvas. So that is the newest one that I've made. And as far as I can tell, and it's hard to tell, but I'm looking at the fabric and the hardware. This is the oldest bag. It's the oldest bag here.
Well, she's the
This
oldest
is-
bag in the
One
box.
of those.
This is the oldest sample in this room. And the reason I know that, and I'm very confident in saying that, I'm overly confident. I'm pretty sure that this is because this pattern is like 2013 or 14. This is the
No,
Stella.
I made one.
You made one. We did a
Yeah.
class.
Yep.
I taught a class, so I wasn't traveling as much. So it was pre all that stuff. This hardware is from Joann's because I didn't sell twist locks, and I found a twist lock at Joann's, which I was kind of surprised by. You can hear the spring.
Yeah.
It's about ready to break. And it has plastic zipper and a plastic zipper under here. So this was before I had any of my good stuff, but I had found Biani zippers.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm guessing, I think this pattern is like 2013. I can't remember for sure. But this, I believe, is the oldest bag in this room, and this is Tulip Pink. Someone's gonna yell it out before I can remember. Eden, the Eden collection. Eden is so many collections back, so I'm very confident that this is the oldest sample I have. And I think that was it. That's all. Oh, and my own pattern that I will never make for myself is Lola. And I'm really sorry. I love Lola, and a lot of you love Lola. But if I'm trying to move up from this bag is not cutting it. If I'm using that as a wallet and I need a purse, it's too small for me. I love this pattern. I can't carry it. So this is the pattern of mine that I will never make for myself. I will never ever make myself a sample of this. I think this one's beautiful. I would love to carry it. I love the petal pink on it. I can't do it. I tried to downsize it, put all my stuff in here, and I couldn't do it. So that was it. That's all that I had for you today. And I hope that that's okay, that I didn't have anything to demo for you, but I thought we would change it up a little bit and give you a little history. And sometimes people ask me questions, and maybe this will answer some of them. I'm happy to answer any others that you want. And I think that's it. I have something special planned for next week. If I can get more than 2 hours of sleep, I think I can accomplish it.
You can do it. You can do it.
I feel like I'm hungover because I'm so tired. I feel like I need to take a nap, and I'm tired and I'm thirsty. I hate that feeling. I want to go to sleep right now.
There's a couch over there.
There is.
Take a nap.
That couch is so comfortable. I have slept on it before.
Yeah, there you go.
I've slept on that couch. I had a headache one day and I went to sleep on it. It's the most comfortable couch, and you can't get out of it because it's really squishy. So I'm guessing there are no questions because
No
you haven't
questions.
given me
Nope,
anything.
nope.
If anybody stuck around, which I hope you did.
Everybody said it was very interesting.
Okay.
They loved it. So glad I tuned in. I've been so curious as to how you started your business.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
I like to share my
Have a good
story.
weekend and get some sleep.
Thank you. I like to share that because I know, like I said, we'll address that in 1 minute. I'll hear it in 1 second. Like I said, I'm very resistant to things that I don't understand, and I've wanted to have a business of my own for as long as I can remember, but it was always a part-time thing. I'll have a job, and I'll just do it on the side. It'll be my little side hustle. It's never gonna be enough. If you keep telling yourself that, you're never going to get to that point that you want to. So if you don't have someone in your life to encourage you, I'm gonna do it for you. If you wanna start a business, whether it's writing patterns, selling bags, buying and selling houses, I don't know, whatever you wanna do, you can do it. You just have to be willing to put yourself out there, try, and be ready to fail, because the failure will teach you what you need to know to be better. I failed a lot. Trust me, this condensed version of my story from start to finish doesn't include all the failures. They were in there. You might not look at them as a failure. I look at them as a failure, but also I learned a lesson from it, and as long as I can learn something from it, I can move forward. I've made bad decisions on things that we bought. I've made bad decisions on shows that I went to. I've spent money that I didn't have. I've written patterns that were awful that you'll never even see because they don't exist anymore. Things happen. If you're not willing to try, you will never ever get anywhere, and you guys are all super smart. You just have to believe that. So if you want to start a business, or you want to do whatever you want a long arm like they do, whatever it is, I'm going to tell you that you can do it. So if you don't have someone in your life to tell you that, it's me. And you should also get someone close to you that tells you that. But I'm here. I'm telling you. Because luckily I have a mother and a husband and friends that are supportive, that tell me that I am doing a good job and I should keep going. And that's what drives me. And you guys wanting to spend an hour with me every Friday still blows my mind. But here we are a year later and I'm enjoying it. So.
And that goes right along with Charlie's comment.
Charlie's
we're all
wait.
riveted. We're all riveted. And
Charlie.
We do have a question.
Yes, please.
They want to know, actually, Mary Orr would like to know if you could share the place for the rose embroidery design on that bag. Where
Yes.
you got it. If you can remember. She did it a while ago, so she may not. I don't know.
I do embroidery online, which I think, and you embroidery people are much smarter than I am, I think it's part of like the OESD but it's, I think, embroideryonline.com, and I know it was called Grandma's Roses. They had like a package you could buy together, or you can buy them separately. There's a bunch of colors. So it's a really cool embroidery design because you kind of don't know what you're gonna get because all the colors overlap. Some of these have like 10 colors in them.
Yeah,
so you just kind of randomly throw it in there and you get different looks the way that they, you know, stack up on each other. If that is incorrect, I will post it in the title of this video, but I am pretty sure it was Embroidery Online and it's called Grandma's Roses. I will look in my email history and double, actually, you know what? Before I forget, hold on.
While you're looking,
I'm just gonna do it while Barb asks me another question.
well, she just wants to know if she orders something today, will she get it for the retreat? Barring any problem with the post office, we can get it out today
There
if
you go.
order it.
Exactly.
If you
We
order
can,
it like in the next hour.
if you order it within the next hour, Barb and Marlene will ship it out to you today. Just remember, we cannot take any, we have no control over the post
Right.
office. That we cannot help.
I mean, by rights, yes, you should have it by Friday.
And my phone doesn't want to cooperate, of course.
Of course.
Of course. Embroidery Online. I'm pretty sure it was embroidery. Ooh, Embroidery Online. Quilting. Oh, that's a different one. Hold on. Nope. I ordered a lot at one time. Apparently January I was really big into ordering things. Yes, embroideryonline.com, and it is called Grandma's Roses.
What a memory.
Oh yeah.
What'd you eat for lunch yesterday?
Don't know. I probably didn't even eat. You know, I don't even know if I ate lunch yesterday. That I don't know. I don't know. Yesterday was very in and out, and it was just a.
Wish Cheryl luck. She has an appointment on Monday to get info on starting a small handcraft business. Wish her luck. She's doing
Yay.
this.
Good luck.
Nice.
Awesome. Fingers are crossed. You're going to do amazing,
You will
and
do awesome, Cheryl.
yes, it's going to be great. It's absolutely going to be great. I'm not the smartest person when it comes to like business terminology and know-how and stuff, but if you have a question that I can help you with, I will. And if I don't know the answer, I'll tell you. But be ready to be awesome, but also be ready to be humbled if something is not for you. Not everything is for everyone. That's what it's a big lesson to learn. You have to keep trying and try the thing that fits for you. Retail shows, they fit for me. Now they don't fit in my lifestyle because I don't want to leave. So, you know, there's things that work and things that don't work.
We like having her around.
Most of the time.
We do.
I like being home and sleeping in my own bed and hanging out with my dogs and not having to worry about booking hotels and, you
Yeah.
know, being on the road and all that kind of stuff.
Saying, oh,
I'm not
darn,
saying-
I ran out of stuff. Send it quick.
I'm not saying I'll never leave again, but for right now, I'm not leaving. So, we'll see. We'll see. Any other questions?
Never say never.
Never say, I can't. I just know I'll never be a millionaire. Keep saying
Never
it.
say never.
Oh, I wish. One of these days, if I am ever a millionaire, I'm gonna let you guys know that it worked.
Oh,
I'm
good.
trying really hard to.
Carol wants you to go to Paducah, though.
I want to go to Paducah. I don't know if I'm gonna vend at Paducah. And let me just tell you, and then we'll wrap this up. Oh, two little things I wanted to tell you. I had a phone call with AQS the other day, and it was very hard, but at the same time very liberating to say out loud, go ahead and give up my spot. So I do not have a spot booked for Paducah or any shows for 2022. Will 2023 be different? I don't know. I have to get through this year first, but I am not going anywhere next year unless I'm going for fun. I'm going
Not
for
road
fun.
either.
No, I will not be going to Road. I'm never gonna say, and this I will never say, I will not say that having the pandemic was the best thing that happened to me. It's a horrible thing, it sucks, we're all sick and tired of it, and unfortunately, we probably have not had it as hard as some people have had it.
True.
But 2020 did teach me a lot of things, and it really put a lot of things into perspective. And after I got through my depressed crying phase, which lasted for about a month, and realized that I was the only one in control of how this was going to play out for me, because can't go to a show that isn't there. Gotta sell things that you have. Gotta take care of your employees who were amazing to me and left for 2 months because they had to, because we had no choice. It taught me a lot of things about where my priorities are, and I loved doing shows, and I loved being at shows, and I loved meeting all of you in person and giving you a hug and seeing you and talking about what I'm passionate about. But it's exhausting. It's exhausting before you even start, and it's exhausting the whole time, and then you're super exhausted trying to drive home, and you're running out of creativity because you don't have the time to do it. And I put a lot of stress on them. a lot of stress on me just coming home and just barking at them and being like, I gotta go. Ship the orders, get this done. It was a lot of stress on all of us. I feel a lot calmer. I'm still neurotic. That will not change. I feel a lot saner, and I feel like the shows, I said I didn't say sane. I feel saner than I was. The shows had their time in my life. This is now a new time in my life. Will the shows come back around for me? I don't know. I can't tell you that. I can just tell you that for this near future, I'm doing some things that I wanted to do. I'm working on a YouTube channel that I never had time to do, that I said I didn't want because I didn't have the time, and I was scared. And I stopped being scared and just said, screw it. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? I have 2 subscribers. You got to try it.
And how many do you
I have
now?
over 5,400, which I'm so happy about, because I was like, oh my God, guys, we hit 100. We hit 1,000. It's the last thing I want to tell you, and then I will wrap this up.
How close are we on your group?
The group is like
Are we
7 or 8
7 or
members
8
away from a
away?
giveaway. So work on that. Barb wants to give stuff away. What I wanted to tell you guys this when we were talking a little while back is that what you see from me and what you probably assume is my personality, me being loud and in your face and so excited and and all of this kind of stuff, that is when I am talking about my own business. That is who I am. I love what I do. I love creating patterns. I love talking to you guys and hearing what you like. And it hurts still a little bit, when people don't like something you did, or when they don't talk about you, they talk about somebody else, and you're like, but I sell the same stuff. But the passion that I have and the excitement that I have does not typically leave this area. My Facebook group, my Facebook page, when I'm in the spotlight because I put myself there, I'm a very different person. And one thing that I am working on, and it's business, but it's also a personal thing that I'm trying very hard. It's hard for some of you to believe. They will probably make faces when I say this, but I can be very introverted and very shy in a weird way when I'm uncomfortable. It's who I've been since I was a kid, and I don't know how to always put myself out there when it's not on my terms. And I belong to other bag groups. I belong to other things on Facebook, other, different, groups where some people are chatting with each other and getting to know each other and making friends. And I don't know how to do that because I am very fearful of putting myself out there. It's like being naked and just saying, go ahead, say what you want. When it's on my terms, it's different. Because honestly, if you're mean to me, I can kick you off of here. If you're mean to me on someone else's group, there's nothing I can do except delete my own comment and move on. So this past year, I have been really working hard to make comments and to say, you're looking for Decoville light. I sell it on my website. Here's, you might not have ever heard of me before. Oh, you're looking for, rainbow colored rivets. We have them. It's very difficult, but that is my challenge for myself, is to try and stop being scared of that. I'm not scared of sitting here talking to you guys. I'm not scared of dealing with all of this stuff, but when it's not my platform, it gets very intimidating. So that's something I'm trying. I'm even trying just to watch more people's videos and be supportive and give them a like and say, hey, that's pretty. That's something that I am trying super, super hard to get out of. So if you think for 1 second, man, she's got it all together, I don't at all. I'm just working on it one day at a time. So that's why I like to share what I do, because maybe it will help one of you say, you know what's the worst that could happen? That's
Exactly.
all. So that's all. I will leave you on that. And the air conditioner just shut.
It shut off. Woo!
It just got so quiet.
That's because it's 66 degrees in here.
Well, it's now 75. I don't want to go outside, but I'm hoping the weather is wrong and it stops raining. So I hope that you guys have an awesome weekend. I have a big plan for this weekend, so send all of your positive thoughts towards me. Don't forget to leave a comment on this video by midnight tonight. So if you're watching it later, you can still be in. I will draw a name over the weekend, and somebody will be going home with a piece of wax canvas and some cork. We'll ship it to you on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Bye.
Bye.